Hey, if you're a physical therapist and you're tired of making minimal amounts of money in terms of your pay, you want to learn how to make more and work less at the same time, I want to share with you in this video how I've been able to do that and how we are creating as a company opportunities to not only improve the quality of life of physical therapists by getting them better pay, but also helping to improve the quality of experiences that patients have dealing with physical therapists who are in better moods, better paid, and more able to provide greater quality of care and skilled care and attention to the actual patient. And so, by the way, I'm Dr. Toby, if you don't know who I am, and welcome to the Rehab Mobile channel. So let's jump right into this. So first things first, I want to just share my story very briefly because I'm an individual who decided back in 2020 to break out of the traditional physical therapy model. For those who may be watching this video who are not familiar with what physical therapy is, physical therapy in a basic sense is how you use our knowledge of science, physiology, and the human body to be able to facilitate the body's natural healing mechanisms to be able to get back to 100% in terms of injuries you've had, whether you've had an ACL injury, whether you've had a back injury, you've blown your back out, or you have back spasms, or your back clenches, or you have a shoulder injury, or you have a neck injury, you've had neck pain for so long, and you had an accident, right? Physical therapy is an amazing tool, technique, and science to be able to help you see a full turnaround and recovery for so many people. Now, the interesting thing is that there's the traditional model where you go to the doctor's office and, they do physical therapy with you, all these different kind of things. But one of the things that I did back in 2020 during COVID, after being laid off, was I started Rehab Mobile, which is our company where we actually have physical therapists who come to you. We work with you at locations of convenience. And why I started this was for several different reasons. One, I realized that the opportunity for me to be able to grow in my career in that traditional model was not going to be, there wasn't much opportunity there, to be very plain. So the biggest thing that I had to discover was what I was going to be able to do to treat patients the way I wanted to be able to treat them. Here are some of the things that I really didn't like about what I was doing when I was working in the traditional model. I didn't like the fact that I had to see multiple patients at the same exact time. I mean, we're not just talking about seeing 2 patients within an hour. We're talking about seeing patients at the same time. And some patients need greater attention, greater levels of care, and their ability to get better is truly there. They truly can get better. But the challenge is the circumstances, the environment in which they're getting treatment is not ideal. The other aspect that I really didn't like was the fact that there was a lot of kind of politically motivated things, right? Like you have to try to do certain treatments in order to get certain payments, right? So certain treatments cost more or are more valuable. And so there's a lot of things that people can be coerced into doing as a physical therapist that are maybe not as integral or ethical. And those are things that I really didn't appreciate about that environment. And so one of the things that people have to realize is that if you're going to break out of the environment where you're actually making more money and working less, you have to start serving people at a higher value. And what that means is that there are opportunities in the world of physical therapy to actually be able to treat people at a high level, right? And so one of the things that I did as I started working in the mobile industry, working with Rehab Mobile and starting this company, was I decided that, hey, the goal for me is not to make as much money as possible. The goal for me is to make a satisfying and fulfilling living while being able to, with integrity, treat patients and get them great results in less time. And so because our company, we spend more time with our clients, right? We're able to actually get them better results in faster amounts of time. And you can check out our Google reviews and check out so many of the testimonies we have here on our YouTube page. But one of the things that for me was satisfying, even with this idea of making more while working less, it's satisfying because the emphasis isn't even on the money. You see, for me, time is more valuable than money. I want the time to be able to spend with my family. I want the time to be able to spend even with my patients, being able to answer their questions, explain to them what's going on, and help them understand how they can prevent this from happening in the future. Most of the time I found working in the traditional outpatient or physical therapy settings, even in home health, I found that you really don't have that time to be able to help educate the person, whereby they don't just have the results for today, they have the knowledge that they need to keep their results for tomorrow. And so it's really challenging when you're in a certain kind of setting and you don't have the opportunity to really give the best full amount of care to the person that you're working with. And so for me, it's, again, like I said, it wasn't just about the money, it was about having time, which is way more valuable than money, time to spend with my family, time to be able to give more to my patients, time to be able to do the things that I love. And so being able to make more and working less was really valuable for this. Now, I know I've said a lot, but here's how I'm going to show you how you can actually start to make more and work less. So one of the things I already mentioned is about how you have to serve people at a higher value level, meaning bringing higher levels of value to people as a physical therapist, right? And so one of the biggest things is that our clients work with us and they understand that we can provide and get them results that other places can't. Pretty much 80% of the patients that we work with are patients who've had physical therapy before. They've been to the traditional clinics where, they are told to go and ride a bike and their physical therapist is texting, looking at their phone and doing a bunch of other things, or maybe even attending to other patients, or a physical therapist tells them to do certain exercises and they're not being paid attention to, or they're working with a tech or with an aide and all these different things. That's a lower level of value because a lot of times people are coming to these physical therapy clinics and they're not getting any value that they couldn't do, or get from what they do at home themselves or what they could find online, right? So how are you with your skills providing value at a higher level than what people are currently doing? Because people actually want and will pay more for the results that you can give them versus just being able to say, well, I got physical therapy and it helped a little bit, but the pain is still here, or even though the pain is not here, I still can't, play a full 18 holes of golf, or I still can't, play more than one tennis match, or I can't walk for more than 15, 20, 30 minutes, right? Like, people actually want to have a better quality of life. And for people who can deliver to them the quality of care that gives people the quality of life that they want, they'll pay more for that. And you can actually be able to treat and serve people at a higher level. And this is the kind of thing that we've been doing with our company. Again, like I already mentioned, it's not so much about the money, but it's about your opportunity to, with the money that you make, buy back the things that are most important to you. Buy back that time with your family. Buy back that time to explore other passions and gifts that you have that are even outside of physical therapy. Listen, I love physical therapy so much. It's a great profession and I know how much it's transformed people. I challenge you to check out the testimonies on our page. One of our testimonials is of a lady who literally shared that she went to 36 sessions of physical therapy and in less than about 10 sessions, we got her better, right? And she had already gone to so many sessions of physical therapy, got injections, got so many different things, right? And so the quality of care, we provide higher quality of care, right? And that's one of the things you have to begin to do. Provide a higher quality of care, probably and maybe in a different setting that you're currently in. One of the things that we also do is we consult with other companies and organizations, right? Providing our knowledge and our skills to their employees and to their organization for them to be able to improve their health and their well-being. Some of the companies that we've been able to, that I personally have worked with, is working with, some of the industries like Amtrak and things like that, where they have physically demanding careers or jobs or employees that have to engage in physically demanding activities, right? And so being able to provide consultation, things like that, gives the opportunity to serve at a higher level, to serve and give value at a higher level. And that's really one of the things that is important, right? If you're going to be able to make more and to work less at the same time, right? So hopefully you found this video helpful. One of the biggest things I would encourage you to do is to begin to think about, how are your skills more valuable than you're actually being compensated for? Here's a tough part for a lot of people. The tough part is that a lot of people are stuck in a model where the insurance company dictates how they can treat their patient, right? And so most people never get better. Like, the actual patients don't really get better for the long term. They're better for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, because all we do is we bring them to the point where they no longer feel that pain, or their pain is more manageable, right? But if we could actually provide the care that actually makes a difference, where we know we could actually get them to 100%, not to 70% or 50, 65%, and they're just not feeling pain and they're doing better, right? Then we could be able to do much more, have a much more fulfilling career, and actually be able to work less and make more, because it actually takes less time to help patients get better than what we are encouraged to do because of being dictated by the insurance company, right? We are encouraged and incentivized to have patients in there longer, so that, we're just like getting them the basic level of treatment. We're seeing them for 30 minutes or, actually working with them hands-on for 15, 20 minutes. And then after that, they're doing exercises on their own, which they're probably not doing correctly. And they're just wasting their time. They're not getting the concentration of care. More time spent in the initial time working with the actual patient will get them better faster, so they spend less visits. But our companies, these traditional physical therapy companies, are often encouraged or focusing on trying to get more visits out of the patient and the patient is still not getting better, right? And they're trying to get as many people to have more visits. And so they're cramming so many people into the same time frames, into the same days. That makes the physical therapist overworked, overwhelmed, drained, and exhausted, and not even able to give their best level of problem solving and solutions for the person. Because the truth is, physical therapy solutions and interventions and treatments is not just what you give the person while they're actually there. It's what you give them that actually translates to them improving their life when they're not there. And so a lot of patients are really not motivated. They're really not doing the things that are actually going to help them get better outside of physical therapy, because they're coming 3 times a week thinking that the physical therapist is going to be the one to help them or to heal them, right? But they don't realize that there's a responsibility, right? It's kind of a deceiving kind of idea where it's like, hey, I'm coming here 3 times a week. This is going to be all that I need. And they find that after, 12, 15, 20, 30 visits of coming 3 times a week, or maybe dropping down to 2 times a week, they're still not 100% better. They feel better on the day of discharge. But then afterwards, it's like, okay, cool. Maybe they're even coming back later on, or they're still not 100% doing the things that they want to do. Or some physical therapists are still telling people that, hey, this is the best, most improvement that you're ever going to make, which is the craziest idea. And so we've wanted to stop and break out of that whole idea of giving this mediocre kind of care to patients that doesn't help them get better, that takes up all their time, where they're coming 2 or 3 times a week, spending several months in physical therapy, only to still get marginally better and to, not have the quality of life that they want. So I encourage, if you're a physical therapist, the way that you're going to start making more and working less is providing value at a higher level, providing the actual quality of care that actually makes a difference and get patients the outcomes that they want and the quality of life that they want, so that you can get the quality of pay that you deserve. And sometimes that looks like you breaking out of your current industry of the traditional outpatient, traditional home health. You got to break into those niches like that are up and coming, that are actually providing the results and getting the testimonies, the transformations that patients are actually willing to pay for, and to say, hey, like, at the end of the day, my health and my quality of life is more valuable to me than even the money that you're asking me to pay, right? And so I encourage you, break out of some of these traditional models and start finding those places where you can actually treat patients the way they deserve to be treated. Hey, if you found this video helpful and you want more content like this, I encourage you, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that you can be up to date on all the inspirational and informational content that we're releasing to help you in your physical therapy journey. And potentially you might be in the areas where we are currently hiring as our company. We're looking for more physical therapists who want to break out of the traditional mode, provide excellent care to patients, be able to have the quality of life that they want and deserve, and get the quality of compensation and pay that they're worth. And then also people who have the same kind of mindset and philosophy, who are really wanting to make a difference in the lives of patients and produce transformations that patients aren't finding anywhere else. And so I encourage you, you can look at the link in our description to be able to apply and see if we're hiring in your area. And we would love to have you a part of the team if you're somebody who's a great fit. So I'll see you in the next video.